So this brand new game called Rootland just dropped on iOS and Android, and of course I had to jump in and make a video because it has a little bit of a Supercell feeling to it. So in today's video I'm going to be jumping in to share with you guys my 5 top tips on how you guys can be the best Rootland players. Alright, so tip number 1 is to do with animals. Now if we jump over into our game, you guys will see I actually already have quite a few animals, and I learned pretty early on that this is a little bit of a mistake. What you definitely do not want to do is what I've done here, and that is just buy all of the animals with all of your gold. Now you don't want to do this because gold is actually really valuable in the game. Now I bought the starter pack, so I thought I had a ridiculously large amount of gold, and I went ahead and I was like, I'm just going to spam buy everything. But that was actually a bit of a silly decision because I then didn't have gold for more of the important upgrades, which I'm going to talk about slightly later on in this video. So my recommendations would be only to get the animals that you absolutely need for when you have upgraded your villagers to potentially have teams. But like I said, that's going to be a future tip. Now on to tip number 2, we have teams. Now you are able to unlock teams for your villagers by simply upgrading them. You guys will see once I upgrade to level 4, I'm going to get another slot. At level 5, at level 6, I'm going to get 2 more slots. And as we progress through the slots, you're going to be able to add more animals to your villagers. Now what these animals do on the team is they actually give boosts. So I currently have the goat on Molly, one of my workers here, and you'll see it's going to speed up the time by 4. I'm not sure if that's 4 seconds, 4 times the speed. I'm still trying to determine that. Maybe you guys can let me know. We're also going to get 2 additional rings. Now I'll quickly show you guys what that means. So I've got Molly up here, and what that means is I can drag here, that's 1 ring, but I then also can drag 2 more rings, which is really nice. This in my opinion is one of the best things you can get with an animal, is additional rings, because it means of course you're going to be able to gather more resources, which at the end of the day is one of the fundamental features of this game. So 100% you want to use some of that gold to upgrade your workers here to get more team slots, and then use those select animals that you picked out at the start and spent that gold on to add them to the teams, because I have multiple animals here that I am simply never going to actually use on my workers. One thing though that I do want to mention is if we come over here, you'll see of course we always have loads of tasks, and the more animals you have, the more tasks you are going to be able to do. So there is ups and downs for it, but my recommendation would be early game to mainly focus only on the animals you want, so when you upgrade your workers like I just talked about, you can make sure you are spending your gold wisely and you've got the best possible animals. Now on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be all about the food storage. Now the food storage is probably one of the most fundamentally important aspects of this game, because this is where you're going to store all of your resources, and your resources are the things that are able to allow you to get gold. So swings and roundabouts, you of course have to make sure you are spending some of that gold to upgrade your storage so you can get more resources to earn more gold to upgrade your storage. It kind of goes in this cycle, but at some point you're going to max out your storage for the amount of islands you have. That's what I have currently done here. I have 6 islands. You'll see it says I have to unlock that 7th island to get more food storage here, but I actually have 600 capacity, which for me right now is more than I actually need. I did spend quite a lot of gold and hard-earned cash on getting this food storage upgraded, but I think it is definitely worth it, especially when it comes to those clan events. While we are on the subject of the food storage, one little bonus tip I do have for you guys is to sell any of those items that you simply are never going to use. So where my animals are right now, there are lots of items that I actually have here that they are never going to consume, and they are mainly going to be these fish. So I can simply click and hold down, and that's going to sell all of these fish. I do not need them, and they are going to go goodbye. I also do not need these. I don't know what they're called, these white tipped flurry things. None of my animals ever eat them, so there's no point in having them. So I would highly recommend, if you guys ever have any excess resources you never really need, just to sell them, because that gold is going to be more beneficial. One other tip while we're talking about the food storage is over here on our farm, you're basically going to have an unlimited supply of food and gold. So if you're going to be on for an hour, you can simply sit on here every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes, plants, whatever you potentially have. You could constantly keep these going, then come over to your food storage and sell them for gold. This is a really nice method of just keeping that gold ticking over and making sure you are always maxing out your potential. Now on to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is clans. Now clans is a pretty important part of the game. As with nearly all Supercell games, we have alliances, guilds, clans, valleys, whatever you want to call them. It's a really important part of the game because it's where you're able to interact with your clan mates. Now over here in Rootland, sadly we're only actually able to have 8 people per clan, which is a little bit of a shame. I would certainly like to see more, but in remembrance of Everdale, I have created a clan called Everdale. We've actually filled it up in about an hour of when I first downloaded the game, which was really, really nice. We've got some awesome members actually of the former Everdale community. A couple of people in here actually from my previous valley in Everdale, so it's really nice to have them here. But clans are really important because of this thing right here, and that is events. Now events are a really nice way of getting lots of gold. You are also able to get some gems. Now if you want to be a little bit extra like Paco was here, you guys can make sure you are top of the leaderboard in your clan and you're going to get a nice little bonus. He did get 220 more gold for completing this event, but remember there are lots of events to complete. We have currently unlocked 4 of them because we only have 9 stars. We've done 3 events, got 3 stars on each event, but as we progress through, you can go all the way up to 150 stars where you're going to be able to get some really cool events, and I would imagine you're going to get some pretty epic rewards for completing them. So 100%, once you guys reach island level 5, which you 100% should rush to, by the way, you want to make sure you are joining an active clan that is always completing events. And tip number 5 is a really, really simple one. Be active. Be active on the game. Every time you log on, just go on to your workers, complete a couple of things. So whether that's just simply picking up some mushrooms or gathering some other kind of resources, sticks, whatever, coming in here, completing tasks, grabbing yourself some gold, you always just want to make sure you are coming on and keeping your workers busy. Just like I'm doing here, I'm actually able to complete a surprising amount of tasks there in a row. But you always want to make sure you are doing everything in your power to always do tasks, because there's no point in logging onto the game then logging straight back off. This game is one you do have to put a little bit more work into, unlike Everdale, which was quite a passive game. This one you do have to work a little bit harder for until you start to unlock some of these other workers. Now if we jump on and we take a quick look here, you'll see this character automatically gathers these resources. Now that is a really interesting thing. I'm really looking forward to unlocking a few of them. From what I've heard from the community, you're able to set them for about a 15-minute period to gather a set amount of resources. So I think that's going to be really, really cool, and I'm really looking forward to unlocking them just to maybe get a little bit more of a passive feeling in the game rather than feeling every time I log on I have to work super hard. But of course, if you want to progress in any game, you have to put the time and effort in. But certainly in this game, I feel the more time you put in, the more rewards you get back. Of course, you're able to complete more of these kind of tasks here. You're able to unlock more animals, more workers. You're just able to progress a lot quicker in the game. So 100% tip number 5 would just be active. It's a really easy thing, but you guys certainly could speed up your progress by being active, I guess. Yeah, that's probably the worst tip for this video, but I think that's a good way to finish off. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'm really excited to dive into this game because as far as I'm aware, there is no one else actually creating content on Rootland, and it feels a little bit like Everdale all over again. This game is in beta. I'm really enjoying it. I'm the only content creator, and I'm just really excited to jump on this journey again. I don't know what the future is going to hold for this game because we actually have a couple of people working on this game who belong to Supercell, which makes me a little bit nervous because they are very known for killing off games, just like Everdale. So fingers crossed that this game will go global. Right now it is only out in a few select countries. That's New Zealand, Australia, Canada and Finland as far as I'm aware. You are able, of course, to get this game if you know how. I will leave a video link in the description to a good friend of mine called McKendro. He actually released a tutorial on how you can get games in Finland App Store, so you guys can check that out. That is only for iOS, sorry to you Android users, but I'm sure all you you need to do, jump on over to Google and you guys will work it out for yourselves. But thank you so much for watching, guys. If you do want to see more Rootland videos, definitely let me know down in the comments. Are you playing this game and how many islands do you currently have unlocked? But thank you so much for watching, guys. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.